Welcome back, dear viewers, and thank you for staying with us. And as we said earlier, we shall talk about the favorite tourist destinations for Egyptians, Arabs, and foreigners during the Eid period. And to shed light on the issue, we are delighted to have with us over the phone Dr. Yehya Abdul Qader, the tourism counselor. Dr. Abdul Qader, a very good morning to you and a happy Eid, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, and happy Eid to you and to your audiences in the Arab world and Egypt as well.
Thank you. Dr. Abdul Qader, what are the favorite tourist destinations during Eid traditionally in Egypt?
Well, we have to talk about the different segments, like Egyptians and visitors from the Arab world. But both of them, they love, like downtown Cairo, the metropolis, Alexandria. And if it's fair and beautiful weather like this, they like to spend the vacations and holidays on the Red Sea beaches, like Qader, Sharm el-Sheikh, Marsa Alam. And some of them like to go to Alexandria and Alamein and Burj Al Arab. So it's different, destinations between spending it in a major metropolis or enjoying vacations outside in the metropolis. They go to, to the gardens, the zoos, the parks.
Yes.
And, enjoy the holiday.
What about foreigners, Westerners, or people from the Far East, or Africans, or Latinos? I mean, where do they like to go in Egypt generally, especially during Eid?
Well, international inbound travel, they will be coming, throughout Ramadan because it's more accessible and they can make more visitation and the traffic is, more tolerant. But throughout the Eid, they like to go to culture destinations, like Cairo, Luxor, Aswan, Alexandria, and also of, the beach resorts for aquatics and diving and parasailing. They'll be going to the Red Sea. And other segments, would be going to Alamein and Alexandria. So really, it's a very diverse and entertaining itineraries for them to visit Egypt throughout this part of the year.
Right. Dr. Abdul Qader, certainly Eid is a period where domestic tourism increases. So can you tell us about the role of domestic tourism in boosting the national economy, in your view?
Well, due to the strategy of the tourism promotion launched by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, international travel, is valued as this year a 60% increase versus last year, same time. But domestic travel in Egypt, contributes 30% of travel gross domestic product on an annual basis, and certainly is a boom because, of the disposable income that, Egyptians have. So they can spend it in Cairo, they can go to Sokhna, Ras Said in the vicinity, and they can go on further places like Sharm el-Sheikh, Dahab, Nuweiba, and the Red Sea resorts or the Mediterranean as well.
Yes. Dr. Abdul Qader, the summer vacation is about to start. Could you tell us about the preparations the sector is undertaking for that season, the summer season?
Well, really, for the Ministry of Tourism and Aviation, now there is this month is going to be launched a direct flight from Dubai to Sharm el-Sheikh, in Qader. And as well, this is launched by Air Cairo, and then we have direct flights as well from Jeddah and Riyadh. So this is in one level, and now traveling in the summer with the strategy of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities is more accessible, and we are ready, for example, to host visitors and travelers from Turkey, from China, from a variety of countries will have, accessible visas on the right.
Yes. What about the plans carried out by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, Dr. Abdul Qader, to encourage both international and domestic tourism in this period?
Well, Dr. Ahmed Isa, Minister of Tourism and Equity, just last week, we had this meeting because the ministry, supervises and oversees over 8,000 tourism, facilities and operations nationwide. So they're making sure that the quality of the services is number one priority. For example, and we have lots to do with the development of the heritage and tourism. Next week, Egypt will host for the first time the International Congress on Heritage Tourism. And this is sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and the Intercontinental Leading Hotels of Egypt. And there is 20 international universities, and there is Senora or Pedro, the United Nations World Tourism representative, should be giving opening speeches. So this is an excellent opportunity to promote Egypt as a destination of archaeology, history, culture, heritage, and other attractions as well.
Yes. We are seeing many newspapers and tourism sites, global papers and sites, choosing Egypt as among the most safe and attract tourist destinations worldwide repeatedly. Your comment on that, sir?
Well, really, world media coverage of Egypt is unstoppable. For example, last week, the Sun Daily in the UK, was recommending to its viewers and audiences that there are some vacations in Egypt, due that it is affordable, admirable, and it is value for money as well. And the attractions that Egypt have because, UK visitors, they love culture, as a priority. And then the Time magazine had, the Giza pyramids on its cover, top cover page, 2 weeks ago, the TripAdvisor site as well recommends Egypt as a must-see. In the U.S., we have Herbal Matter, we have Business Wire site, this online, and we recommend visiting Egypt among leading tourist destinations worldwide. So we have an excellent coverage, really. We're lucky and fortunate to have this throughout international and global media.
Yes. Certainly, Egypt succeeded in overcoming a lot of challenges in the past years facing the tourism industry. Could you talk to us about those challenges and how was Egypt able to overcome them, and where are we now from where we want to be?
Really, Egypt was so determined, to counter, the negative aspects of the pandemic, that we have, nearly over 2 years ago. We were one of the first early countries to open, with important destinations for visitors, and that's why we were recommended by the Commissioner of the World Tourism Organization. We visited Egypt more than once, and she admired our strategy to open our resorts and follow, the guidelines of the World Health Organization. So we succeeded in this, and Egypt became a model. And then currently we're renovating, our heritage. Just 2 weeks ago, a month ago, Hakim Bamullah and Amr al-As, mosques, they were conserved and renovated, and they were open for prayers, throughout Ramadan as well. So this is, great news for visitors who love culture and to visit religious sites and mausoleums.
Yeah. This year, amazingly, Dr. Abdul Qader, a number of feasts coincided together, be it Islamic or Christian or Pharaonic feasts. Could you tell us about how special this season is? I mean, this season of feasts, if I can say so.
Well, really, Egypt, and Egyptians are very determined, and they've been following, heavenly religions, thousands of years ago. So we have the main denominations, Islam, Christianity, and Judaism in Egypt as well. So, the population, they have their own season and festivities. So, like Egypt is today is celebrating in the Eid al-Fitr with the whole Arab and Muslim world, and as well, like our brothers, like Christians, they have their celebrations and festivities, and like Easter festivities as well. So these are, like very relaxing and very moving and very peaceful festivities for Egyptians, and that's why many visitors and travelers like to come to Egypt to witness this and mix with the locals and enjoy the festivities.
Yeah, of course, the name Egypt, Dr. Abdul Qadir, markets itself by itself. But I want to know from you as a counselor, as an expert in this field, what are the latest marketing tools that we are using, and what do we need to do as far as marketing goes to attract more tourists?
Well, actually, the new administration of tourism and equities, they have a solid strategy, and this is reflected in attending between 40 to 60 international travel fairs worldwide. They go to the WTM in London, ITB in Berlin, and Topinza in Paris. And then next early May, inshallah, Egypt will be participating in the Arab travel market, the ATM held in Dubai. And this is one of the largest travel exhibitions and travel fairs worldwide. And Egypt, in the ITB, they won, award because of the prestigious pavilion that they had over there. Apart from that, the ministry is training its staff and inviting, fan trips worldwide. And at one point, we had 20 officers representing Egypt, like from San Francisco all the way to Japan. And Dr. Yehya, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, is planning to reactivate these offices on a global basis, because this is one, the most direct travel points that any travel destination have to establish and promote.
Yeah. Dr. Abdul Qadir, we're going to be watching a report on the breakfast show in about, in a few minutes about the Grand Egyptian Museum. I wanted to ask you, Anne, about its solar power plant, becoming the first green museum. Could you tell us about how GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, can change the equation for the better as far as the tourism industry in Egypt is concerned?
Well, this is really the gift of Egypt, in this millennium, because this is an iconic museum that reflects 5,000 years of extended civilization of Egypt throughout centuries, and it's location in the necropolis of the Giza Plateau, and it's overlooking the great pyramids of Cheops, Keops, and Mykonos, and it's so sophisticated. It took nearly over 15 years, from inception until completion, and currently we're going through the soft opening of the museum. So, inshallah, this is a great support, for Egyptian tourism and culture worldwide. We anticipate 5 million visitors per year, just to go and pay visit over 2-3 days to the Grand Egyptian Museum, inshallah.
Yes, and finally, I want to take you back to Eid and the celebrations of Eid. I mean, for you personally, what are the favorite destinations that you prefer to visit during Eid, and why?
Well, actually, I like to fly to Sharm el-Sheikh. It's the perfect destination, because it changes the atmosphere. After you spend 30 days nearly, in fasting and doing the rituals. So it's a break from Cairo, the old metropolis, and going to a resort overlooking the Red Sea, and then enjoying the joy and festivities with international travelers and Egyptians and Arab visitors and international visitors inbound from the whole world. So this is one of the locations I like to do throughout, Eid and holidays and the breaks year-round.
Yeah, I mean, Egyptians are, charming by nature. They love to receive their guests. They are warm. They love to feast. They love to smile. So could you talk to us finally about, the Egyptian personality during Eid, and how the Egyptian traditions make Egypt a great destination during feasts?
Well, really, Ramadan is a great manifestation of this because when I was a tourist counselor in New York, many visitors from the US, they refrained from visiting Egypt throughout Ramadan because they thought that this is a tough time of the year to visit. But I advised them that it is one of the best times in the year because traffic is more tolerant and tourist destinations and museums, like locations are more accessible. And then when they came and saw like this open banquet, that we have all over Egypt, so some of them would go like and share like the dinner with them.
Yeah.
So it became like an attraction, and world media has been covering this. What we had in Masaraya, in Cairo, in Luxor, Alexandria, all over Egypt. Really, this is a great promotion of our local travel and spirit of the Egyptians through our festivities.
Yeah, Dr. Yehya Abdul Qader, a tourism counselor. Thank you very much, sir, for your time and your insight, and happy Eid. Dear viewers, as we told you earlier, we'll be watching a report about GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, witnessing its soft